Alright, what is happening, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing some more work on the 240. I've had a super busy weekend. I haven't filmed in a couple of days, but I have gotten some progress done on the car. So let me go ahead and run through what I've done, and I will show you guys exactly what you missed. And then we're gonna dive into this. All right, so first thing, which is pretty obvious, started to mock up the wide body kit. I trimmed the fenders to clear the tires, and then I got the back end basically finished as far as the body work goes. Cut out the fender well, and then made a new inner fender well, weatherproofed it, and got it all sealed. So I don't know if you can see because of the lighting, but yeah, it is weatherproofed. Should be pretty solid there. And then coming around the back side, got the other side done too. Might be able to see the side a little bit better. I did get the dash back in the car. So now that the dash is in, I can start mocking up the cluster and toggle panel. And I got some more wiring done on the motor. A lot of the wiring is finished there. And then I went and picked up my radiator that I actually had out at Wide Open Customs, so I'm going to be putting that in the car today. We are going to use it in my truck, but we decided not to because it's probably a little bit small for the truck, but it's actually made for a 240 with an LS, so should fit in here. We're gonna go ahead and jump on that and try and get it in and see how it's gonna fit. I looked, it looks real tight, so I'll see if I'm gonna be able to make it work. If not, we may have to cut out the top bracket here and do away with that, build something custom, but we'll see. I'm gonna see if I can get it to fit. Okay, so as I was expecting, it doesn't fit. It's basically, once I get it down in here, touches the fans on this pulley and on this pulley. So what I did is I went ahead and I cut two grooves right here and right here in this front core support, and I pulled the entire thing out about an inch. So now it fits in there, but it's still just barely touching on these two pulleys. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically ovalize these holes out this direction on both sides, so that way it can sit just a little bit closer to the front here, and I'm thinking that'll get me the clearance I need. So I'm gonna give that a shot right now. Alright, you guys, so now after a little bit more time than what I had originally expected, I have the radiator in the car. So I had to basically pull this whole front support forward and then drill some new holes in the bottom for the two posts on the bottom of the radiator to sit in, because the original ones were too close to the motor. So I drilled some new holes, and then I built these little brackets right here. Just simple little L bracket to hold the radiator, and yeah, it's good, it's solid. So that's a plus. And then as far as clearance goes, as you can see right here was where it was touching before on this pulley, and also on this pulley down here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Right there, that was touching the fan before too. So now I've got about a ½ inch of clearance all the way across. I got my wiring harness all zip tied up nice and tight. Shouldn't be an issue. And another thing I didn't mention yesterday that I did too, I put the original 240 throttle pedal back in it because it was missing, and put the cable on. Now I had to make this bracket right here. So this is a bracket that I built. So I took the OEM bracket and cut it off right about there, and then took the piece here that I cut off and just extended it about 3 inches there. And you can see now the original 240 cable is working with the GM throttle body here, and it's not perfect, but it's good. And it's working, so that is a plus. So this guy's done, radiator's in. Gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with the hoses, because as you can see, this comes out like right in front of the alternator. I think I'm gonna come up and over and then across like this and into the top, and then I may run into issues with the intake. So yeah, we'll figure that out later, but the radiator's in. Alright guys, so now that I know that the radiator fits, I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting up the front and basically making room for the Silvia headlights, because you have to cut out the back side of the headlight pocket basically, because they're deeper. So I'm gonna start cutting that, see if I can get them to fit, and try to get the front end sort of put together. So we'll see if I can get it done. Alright guys, so this part that I just put on is a brace that Nissan actually makes to help hold the Silvia headlights, and I'll show you guys exactly where it goes. So basically there's all this bracketry that bolts the headlight to the front core support, and this piece bolts on here and runs all the way across underneath the headlights, and then bolts to the outside of the headlight over here, and just makes it so that it's a little bit easier to mount these guys. But comes around this side as well, mounts over here, and then this needs to get pulled back and then mounted up here also, which obviously the hole doesn't line up, so I'll have to drill a hole and put a nut and a bolt through there. But that mounts up just like that, and when this is pushed all the way up, fits pretty flush on the headlight there, so it's good. It's starting to look like a Silvia. This is pretty sweet. Alright, so this is actually really cool. This is the first time I've kind of seen this put together with the S15 front clip on it. You guys just didn't hear me in another video, but the S15 Silvia is like my favorite S chassis. I love it. So seeing this together on the front of the car is like getting me kind of excited about finishing this thing, but got a long road ahead of me, and exciting part 2, which is nice that this is on here. It's obviously just sitting there. I didn't bolt it on or anything, but I can see where I'm gonna have to cut the front bumper because of the fender that I already mocked up. So, or the front bumper, I mean. So I'll know that I need to cut it basically underneath the fender here. Probably try to come down somewhere in this neighborhood and down and off the bottom. And I think I actually have a lower extension for the front bumper for this Rocket Bunny kit, which is obviously not for the Silvia. It is for an S13, but I think I have the extension. I might even be able to bring it down to the bottom of the bumper and trim it up to make it clean. Probably look pretty cool if I can make that happen. So I'm gonna try it. Won't be right now because I want to get everything mocked up, bolted up, and then once it's together, then I can actually start cutting and like kind of doing finishing work. So on to the next part. Okay, so that is everything I'm gonna get done for today. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of stuff tonight, just working on like wiring and stuff that's kind of boring to watch. So I'll do a little bit of that, but for the most part, the front of the car's put together, and I get to finally see it looking like a Silvia, and it's sick. I'm super excited. Another thing I did too is I took the Rocket Bunny fender, the over fender, the part that just goes down onto the front bumper, and I cut a little piece out from the driver's side, or passenger side I mean, and I put it on here and cut it and trimmed it up to fit there. So I like the way it looks. I'm not done trimming the fenders yet, but at least got that brought down to the bottom of the bumper here. It's a little sloppy, but it looks cool. So I'm definitely really excited to see this thing come together. Yeah, lots of stuff to do still, but I'm finally getting to where I'm seeing some progress, and I think it might be doable. So I'm getting a little nervous as far as getting it done in time, but we'll see how it goes. Catch you guys on the next one.